Good morning, everyone. Say a hello and warm welcome to Colonel Rajesh Bhukkar sir again with me. मैं इनके साथ बार बार आती हूँ because I love talking to him. He publishes amazing articles. The link is there in the description section. वो हम पढ़ सकते हैं. And sir, thank you again for the time.
My pleasure, Smriti, that I get to interact with you, and there's so much to learn from you, especially about life. I always find you, moving from place to place, interacting with students, and there's always a smile on your face. And I think ultimate aim of any human being in his life is to keep adding smiles to self as well as others.
Wow. I hope this continues for my whole life, and
Yeah.
that's my particular vision, to keep smiling, make you smile, spread information. So today basically we're here with a very interesting topic, and which interests me as well, because of course I come from an IT background and this is the hot topic across. We all know that we are living in an AI world, and it's just going to increase and increase. So sir has written a very interesting topic on how AI and cyber crimes are linked together. So a very intense topic. So let's get going on it. So sir, what the first question? Let's understand what is cybercrime actually.
Smriti, let's keep this topic slightly simple so that it's easier for people to understand, and they can thereafter read so much on it to make it to grasp it better. Cybercrime is, we say, anything to do with the computers, net, internet, and associated activities that lead to crime is cybercrime.
So anything basically which is data driven, right?
Computers and internet,
and related to the wire. So
wire.
It's going through technology.
Yeah.
That is also
It's a like simple fact that I'm today everybody is so used to the computers and mobiles and using of data for their personal life, and that is exposing us to some vulnerabilities. The criminals who are exploiting this is cybercrime.
I think I read your article, something very interesting that you had mentioned. If criminals are exploiting it, so do we have the people who can check through it, right? So let's talk about it.
Say again, as I said, we talk of cybercrime. Stealing somebody's identity is a cybercrime. Putting a malware in your system is a cybercrime. And things like this, the series of activities which are termed into cybercrime, where people are stealing your data, they're stealing your money, they almost steal your identity, and they project themselves as who you are, and interact with your bankers, interact with your people, and they steal the money and data from them. They put a malware in your computers, in your mail, through mails or whatever data that you receive, and suddenly you find the whole computer is flooded. They flood your computers with so much of data, or even when you go to daily service also, like your distribution of your services gets impacted because they have artificially injected so much of data into that you find that real work which is supposed to be done gets
hampered.
Yep.
So I think this is what I feel is that two particular category of people are very vulnerable on this. One are the older generation who are not much used to this internet, and it's pretty new to them, and they don't know what to share and not share. Equally, I'm really bothered about the younger generation and teenagers who are in so much used to of this social media, and just to create their influence and over the internet, over the social platform, they might just go ahead and use it without having information. And it is dangerous that how they might not even impact it. Just say for a teenage girl of 16-17 years, she just accepts something, uploads a photograph or something, and you don't know how it's going to impact you, right?
Exactly.
So these two categories.
It's a simple thing. You have a small mobile in your hand. It is 32 GB or some are even more than that, 128 GB, whatever data. Look at any boy or girl. He's storing everything into that. Pictures, locations, your data on bank, data on your transactions, everything is available on that small instrument which is hardly weighing 100 grams.
We are also doing it actually.
We are also used to it, but
all data is there.
Now this particular data which you are moving with, either you have strong, I cannot say go back to basics and start using diaries to this thing. Try and use unique passwords. Try and change them frequently.
Unique passwords, change them frequently.
The second is there are so many links which come to your mails. You have a spam. Despite spam also they penetrate into your inboxes. Don't ever touch any link which is not somehow familiar with you. This thing.
Don't click on any
Any
link
link.
that you're not familiar with or not familiar with the sender.
Send.
Yeah.
Third, it's a very simple practice that try and put your data backup. Take your data off and keep your mobiles less loaded.
And can that data should be, I mean, rather than, because now you have this cloud, you have Google Drives, we have Amazon Cloud, so our all data is backed up on that. So are you saying it's a better way to get a local hard disk, purchase that and keep all our data over there rather than uploading
Well, I may not be so scientifically advanced to comment on that part, but I still feel that any data which is in air is vulnerable, despite so many assurances of security and all that. Otherwise, I don't understand how do you find so many calls coming to you without even knowing who you are.
Yeah, and that's really annoying,
So,
yeah.
that's really annoying. More than annoying, you know, and you spoke with the older generation. Now the point is, older generation were only used to mobiles for talking.
The true
But the
usage of
grandchildren
mobile.
have put so many things in their mobile too. These guys don't know how to handle it.
So they can do it unknowingly as
Unknowingly.
simply as
Most
well.
of the time they do it unknowingly. They don't know, even realize. Today you find so many calls coming, so many video calls coming, so much of crime which is happening is based on this. We read in newspaper every day that there's an old man who just clicked on something, there's a video which is totally unacceptable. And you start getting into that line of being blackmailed or being made to do things which you don't want to do.
Look, I think ignorance, but I think, yeah, it's a responsibility for everyone. I think we just have to be very careful with so much data. All information is not useful. We need to understand what information has to be used and what just has to be thrown away. So we talked about, what are cybercrimes, how to tackle cybercrimes. Coming to the very interesting part, how do you think AI and cybercrimes are linked?
AI is the in thing now. Artificial intelligence is the in thing in the sense, rather I'll say most of the organizations, most of the things are getting flooded by AI. Everywhere people are using. It's a basically faster generation of data. The speed has increased. The data manipulation has become easier because firstly there is a huge data bank which is available to these people, and when they use this data and analyze, they are so fast that it's like human brain. They are trying to hit that we are as fast as human brain. Analysis of data, they may be faster than human brain, but luckily so far they haven't been able to put these AI computers as good as human being because of the thing like emotions or analysis which is personalized analysis of a human brain cannot be really taken by AI, but otherwise they are flooded everywhere else. Now see, when I say cybercrime, cyber again, it's all data manipulation. AI is again a revolution in the data analysis. So the cyber criminals and the good use of AI, there's a race against each other. You come with some check, they come back with a counter check. And this is where that AI and cybercrime, they can, I'll not say that cybercrime can be, is not stoppable, but the AI has to really strive to be regulated to stop this menace.
So what I understand, AI is a tool, a very, very smart tool which we only have created.
Yes.
And it can be used by the checker and the doer, both, right? It can be used by a criminal and a person who's going to investigate that. It is totally up to how we want to go ahead and take use of AI, right? So it's such an powerful tool. We need to just develop, since we have enhanced this technology, we need to enhance our value system and thinking on how to use it.
I'll say that when the small cybercrime was hitting a basic common man, the AI has elevated the crime to the higher levels. That means the big institutions, big trade houses, their data is vulnerable. Stealing of data, trade secrets, it's all now possible with AI. Terrorism, AI with the elevation of, like you can imagine there is a way to predict this is a possibility of a cyber terrorism attack in so and so place. And that is possible because there is a pattern. They can read the pattern, they can read the voices, they can check the communications that have taken place, and the fastest possible analysis puts you at much advantage compared to what is otherwise possible with a human effort.
So, do you think that AI can speed up the terrorism?
It can speed up, at the same time it can check. It's a question of how you're using it, who is using it. Because if AI is available to, it is an open market.
It's an open market.
So much of research has been done by the institutions, but still available in the local market. If it gets into the terrorist used, definitely they are in a position to better link themselves to the most accurate information on the targets.
It's a machine game, so I understand the real war happens
and
like you and me sitting over here.
As a human being, you're just sitting on one side and watching this fun which you created, and this thing is taking the shape of monster.
My God, it reminds me of the Matrix movie, years back we saw that it is all numbers and machines. I just hope we don't reach there.
Just a man who's earned and saved 1 lakh rupees in all next 4-5 years of service. One fine day you find that everything is out from his account. You have ruined 5 years efforts of a man by one click somewhere. This is common man. When you talk of nations, like today you got so many terrorist outfits like Hamas or Hezbollah or ISIS or so many of them. The AI data available to them or the AI processes available to them can speed up their actions so much that before the target takes a countermeasure, they are in a position to attack.
My God, this really gives me goosebumps, and it is a very virtual war which is happening. I think the war is somewhere being manipulated in the brains, in the tools, and what we see is the outcome. Very important thing, since how do we regulate this? I mean, very important. Fine, everything is happening. We know it's there and it will only grow. Nothing comes down. How do we regulate this?
See, most of the governments are now waking up to this Regulations Act, and one of the best or the most useful decision which I just seen is European Union. In March 24, they come out with this complete regulation of the AI for personal data safety and security.
Personal data safety.
It's for anybody for that product. So that one of the first, I think they're the pioneers now who have woken up to the need to regulate AI. In India, if we go back, we have a IT Act of 2000.
IT Act of 2000.
Yeah.
Then we're 24 years lacking already.
Yeah, and the second part, because you need an act to make something punishable otherwise. Detecting and punishing and stopping and punishing, these things are linked, because unless you carry out till punishment, there's no fear.
There's no fear. So it's detecting, stopping
and punishing. So that there's a deterrence for people to use it. So after that IT Act of 2000, then there was in 2013 we have brought in something called this is again to do with the Cyber Security Regulation Act. So those rules were made in 2013 again. Now 2023 we had come with data protection and data prevention kind of a act which is going to regulate some kind of personal safety to our data. But still they are not adequate.
I think it's a very, regulations can be
it's
there.
It's a slow moving thing.
Yeah, and I think that it's a lot of, when we talk about duties, I think in now going forward time, this is going to be a major duty for the citizen. Yes. Self duty to maintain our own personal data. I think I also need to do it, and people who are listening over here, we need to keep minimal data on our phone. I know we are habitual and the memory is increasing, and everything by default gets uploaded to the cloud, which is a huge risk.
Second point, you read today's newspaper, you find so many people are being outsmarted by the cyber criminals to take their money away, take this thing away. There's a police of FIR system, it takes its own time, and by then it gets refunded, at times it doesn't get refunded. More than loss of money, it is a huge mental harassment for individual.
Yes.
And a scare in his mind. You created a scare or a fear in his mind that is so much vulnerable. So you got to use
sense of what should I say?
Insecurity.
Sense of insecurity, and I'm no more private, probably.
Privacy, of course, is today in today's world. Privacy is a Totally, because
Illusion.
you're talking anything on the mobile, the Google is listening to you.
I know.
Your voice is sampled. It can be sampled by anybody. There have been instances where people make a call through a computer as if the voice of another person is exactly reproducing is replicated, and you fall a trap to it. So there are three aspects of it: a personal, then there's an organizational, and third is national security. So when we talk
Personal.
of when we talk of personal, the losses are still, we are not really been very serious about it. But for the organizations and the government, like national losses, they have to wake up in time now to regulate AI, to help it to curb the cybercrime, not let the cyber criminals use AI for this thing. It's going to come. Nobody can stop. We can't fall back on the basics. We can't go back to the basic physical writing things and all that. That's understood. But we need to regulate it. The artificial intelligence. Second point, if you integrate human int or human beings along with the AI, that will give you the best solution. Lastly, I'll say integrate. There are so many stakeholders. There's so many stakeholders in the sense one who is suffering like a common man. There's a government. There's a IT company. There is a trade and commerce which is going on. So all these people are stakeholders in this. Integrate the effort and resources of this every stakeholder to evolve into a national policy, and probably there is a way to regulate AI and use it for your cyber crime activities.
Yeah, I think I hope the caretakers are listening to this, and the important thing is that AI is moving way beyond our imaginable speed,
Yes.
and we need to move faster to get this regulation in place, right? So we cannot be like, okay, a policy will take so much time to get implemented.
Awareness at small, at schools level, awareness at the level of, if you put it in the next generation, I'm not saying that let's enter fear in their mind. No. Let's alarm them.
Alarm them, yes.
Don't make it, fear may not bring that many results, but alarming them will definitely put us wiser. And that is, if this generation is put wiser, it will solve our problems.
So I think that's what the best we can do to develop the intellect. So key takeaway, alarm the new year generation to use whatever is coming next in the best possible way. That's what we wish for.
Yeah, that's what
Thank you so much, sir.
No,
Again, it was amazing, and the link to the article is there in the description. Go ahead and read that article in First India newspaper. It's beautiful, and we keep coming up with some great ideas and great discussion topics that Sir keeps publishing. Have a good day. Take care. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.